Welcome in, everybody. Next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7th. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Operating from the gun. Knight. And incomplete to open things up. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So they'll come up after fake. Knight. Trying for Edelman again. This time he's got it. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Usually the big fella's a blocker, a lead back, but he gets the ball on 1st down. What a surprise for everyone. And as a former safety, if he breaks into the secondary and you see him coming, you just know that's a whole lot of man you've got to deal with now.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let it go deep for the end. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So retract the yardage and
Still
retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Second-round pick in 2015, Eddie Goldman holds down the middle of this defensive line with some toughness, some leverage, and some personality. Understands he's going to be double and sometimes triple teamed on every snap. Does it with a smile, takes on those blockers, and opens up space for his other pass rushers.
Looking to throw on second down. Knight is going to... Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 14 carries, 60 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The penalty yards marched off as they'll try again on second and goal. From the gun, Knight. And he's wrapped up, taken down. Got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of...
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Chris Moore, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
When I talk with people around the league about Mitchell Trubisky when he's coming out of North Carolina, those that had questions about him, they often centered in on the fact that he was only a one-year starter and wondered why he couldn't beat out the guy ahead of him beforehand. I just locked in on the athletic ability, the accuracy, and then once he got the football, how the team responded to him. I think his upside is big.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Now the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I want to get right back out there.
Touchdown, Packers! Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet. They'll try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Partner, we had their game last week where they... had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. That's Fisher. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right? When you
attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense that they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I feel he made him by dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on 2nd down. Knight. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And that one is going to set the offense back. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They go play action with Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A 4-yard pickup that gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Throwing on first down. Knight. Flush to his right. And this is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
No, check, Patriot!
To throw on third down. Knight. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down. Almost back to the drawing board.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That guy's going to want the football a whole lot more. I'd hate to be the offensive coordinator now, because all he's going to say is, how come I'm not touching him more? Do you see me out there moving around, wiggling, and making it happen? Give me the ball, coach.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Detroit!
Off play action. Knight. And this is caught. It's Edelman. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back. So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Operating from the gun. Knight keeps himself upright, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Looking to throw on second down. Knight buying time to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sack back at about the 43-yard line. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. Tariq Cohen.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Julian Edelman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards on the play. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
180!
Play action. It's Trubisky. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Trubisky. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. The 1st quarter of action. 21-3, our score, a little lopsided early. And we're back to Soldier Field after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. On play action, Kaiser. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
They'll run it with Williams. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
To throw, Kaiser escaping the pressure right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes. Comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge. And he's up him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Williams. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Kaiser hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
Out left to Shaheen. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 1 yard, and it leads to a third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
But that was definitely a surprise there, handed to the big guy on first down. Heck, the first play of the drive. And when you see him get to the second level, as a former safety, I can just tell you, your eyes get really wide because you know you've got a lot to deal with at that point.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Running right through it. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it's a second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, Run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They go play action. Kaiser. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
You figure down in the red zone, the play call that's going to come in, find the guy that's most susceptible, the guy that you think that you can beat. In this case, they tried to pick on the rookie, and he was actually up to the challenge.
Yep, touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Extra point try now for Crosby. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the route is on here in this first half. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
The sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So that one will be accepted. Here's Trubisky to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Pulled in at the 24. Oh, what a juke into space. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
A good pickup there, a 22.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Kaiser now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over. And he's got his guys a first down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Ohio! Ohio!
From the red zone now, Kaiser. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 20. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On second down, Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Robinson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. On first down, Trubisky. A good pickup there, a 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
Now Trubisky to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. Now it's Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. The kick by Sanders is good. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about two-thirds complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, and that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. The Giants seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Kiki Cutie, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Trubisky will throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play. Who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play, you did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his second touchdown on the season. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Trubisky. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready.
3rd down just got even more difficult. 3rd down and 15 after the false start. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Robinson. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And they'll try to throw here. Kaiser going for the deep ball. And got his man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And that one results in 35 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They run it again with Williams. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Delay of game. Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Crosby puts it through, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. And this stadium is abuzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing.
And you can't help but think back to Tom Dempsey. And his record stood for, what, 43 years until Matt Prater broke it? And now here's a new record. And I'm with you. I cannot believe that ball went through the posts.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now Cohen. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll look to throw. Finding Gabriel complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Trubisky with the give to Howard. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Holding, offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Now it's Trubisky. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here comes the Bears punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Third and long for Kaiser. Flushed out right. Complete. Richardson has it.
Holding, offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. from the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
Team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Kaiser. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Trubisky. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bima Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll try and run with their fullback. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Our eyes and attention are on the fullback. Big time carry, big yardage. But how about the guys up front, the offensive line? A lot of people think they may have to block it differently for the fullback to get big yardage. They really don't. Because he's big, strong, and powerful, a lot of times he makes his own way. They may not have to block as hard.
11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Let's go! One!
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's got this one down to the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Julian Edelman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers continue to roll.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Trubisky, draw play, gives to Howard. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On third down, Trubisky. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Again, it's Williams. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Kaiser here looking to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They give it to Williams, running right. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Switch! Flex round! Flex round! He's checking crack.
Kaiser on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.